Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We are here to do a tag video. This is the Makeup Declutter Tag. It was created by Ava Twos here on YouTube, so I will have Ava's video listed down below. I also saw my friend Emily from Emily's Makeup Bag film this video as well, so I will have both of them linked down below if you want to check this out. But I thought this was like a fun spin on a tag. Now when Ava did it, she actually got rid of makeup as well. And then when Emily did it, she wasn't actually getting rid of the makeup, but she wanted to talk about the makeup answers. And I mean, I thought that made sense, and I'm actually going to kind of do it Emily's way, where I'm not necessarily getting rid of these products, but I did have answers to these questions. So I wanted to play along. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Kelly and I love all things makeup and beauty. I love talking, I love makeup, I love talking about makeup. So if you like to chat about makeup too, I would love to have you subscribe and be part of the K-Bella fam. But why don't we go ahead and jump into the video. Okay, so I mentioned, like Emily, I'm not actually getting rid of these products because I feel like I declutter kind of regularly. Like as I try out a product, if it doesn't work for me, I pass it along. And so I don't really have a ton of products like sitting off to the side that I'm gonna get rid of. And I recently did some declutters, but I have some answers to these questions. So question number one is a makeup item that's impractical. I could get some hate for this. A makeup item that's impractical, I had to say the Orc Glow Lust. Now I'm not going to be getting rid of this because I did pay for it and it was pretty pricey, so I want to keep using it, but I feel like it's impractical because it doesn't really do anything for me. Like at all. Like if I put it on as a primer, I'm really glowy, but then the second I put foundation on, I'm not super glowy anymore. And if I try to use it as a liquid highlighter on top of foundation, it doesn't really give me the highlight that I'm looking for. So really the best way that I would use this is to kind of mix it in with the foundation that's a little bit more mattifying. But in my opinion, it's just like an extra step that like I don't necessarily need to do. So I'm gonna use it, I'm gonna keep it, but I wouldn't necessarily like repurchase it. Question number two is a mascara that's definitely expired. And I have to say, I didn't have a mascara that was definitely expired because I don't keep a ton of open mascaras. I'm really good about rotating them and only keeping them for 3 to 6 months. But the longest mascara that I've had in my collection is this one by Bite Beauty. I got this in like the mascara set, I think, during the Sephora VIB sale. This is the Upswing Full Volume Mascara. And I've been using it since I opened it up, like probably in November time. And it's probably almost empty. I don't know that it's necessarily expired, but I feel like, okay, I feel like it's almost empty. So this one, I might get like 1 or 2 more uses out of, but it will actually be getting decluttered pretty soon here. Now question number 3 was a red lipstick that you never wear, but I only have 2 red lipsticks and I don't wear red lipstick often, but I wear them both. So I just chose a lipstick that you never wear. And a lipstick that I never wear is this one right here, the House of Sillage times Disney. This is the Playful Nudes. And honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that I love the packaging and that it's Disney and it's cute, I probably would declutter this. I really don't wear it that often. I wouldn't call it a nude. I would call it more of a rose shade. It's kind of a deeper rose. Ooh, it smells pretty good. I haven't had this super long, but I just don't find myself ever reaching for it. It's definitely more of like a satin with a little bit of sheen to it. And I don't think it's bad. It just, I mean, I wouldn't call it nude, but I really like, I'm trying to match up the characters. There's Minnie on one side and Mickey on the other. I really like the packaging, so I'm gonna keep it for that sense, but if it was just like a standalone lipstick, like I'd probably just get rid of it. A high-end item not worth the money. A high-end item not worth the money. I had to go with the Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Foundation. Now, I like this foundation. I recently did a foundation rankings. I like this. I use this foundation. I don't think the shade match is the best for me, but I do enjoy it. I just don't think it's worth $88. I got this when the, Sephora was doing the 20% off sale, and I still really don't even know that this is worth like $60 or $70. I mean, Tom Ford, you're pretty much paying for the name. It is what it is. You're paying for the name, but it's a good foundation. Just $88 is a lot. Question number 5 was a drugstore dud, and I have to be very honest. I don't have anything for this. I don't try a ton of drugstore makeup. I definitely go for much more like high-end makeup, more not necessarily luxury, but like makeup that you find at Sephora. And so if I were to try and pick a drugstore dud, I would just be reaching. So I'm not gonna put anything here, and hopefully you guys don't mind. We're gonna pass. But if you have a drugstore dud, let us know down below. I mean, answer any of these down below. But because I don't have a drugstore dud, what have you tried from the drugstore that I shouldn't try? How about that? Number 6 is an eyeshadow palette you forgot you had. And I was actually going through my eyeshadow palette collection recently when I was working on ranking the eyeshadow palettes that I tried in 2021. And I totally forgot I had this one. This is the Too Faced, it's not Too Faced, this is the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. This was actually a gift from Smags. I said that I wanted this palette, and I did try it out. I used it a ton. I did get a lot of fallout with this eyeshadow palette though, and so for that reason, I don't find myself reaching for it a ton anymore. However, I hold on to it because of the packaging. My husband and I love to travel. I've been to some of these places. I want to go to more of these places. Like, it's just very sentimental. It's who I am. I love traveling. I love seeing new places, and so I'm definitely going to hold on to this for the packaging, but it is totally a palette that I like forget that I have because I don't really use it. Okay, so number 7 was a foundation that's not your shade match, and I don't keep a ton of foundations, but I did recently declutter 2 foundations, and I'll tell you why. So if I had to pick one that wasn't my shade match, it would have been the Armani Luminous Silk. I had that in the shade 4.5, and when I got it, I felt like it was a good shade match, so I don't know, maybe I just like lightened up a ton or something, but it was no longer a good shade match by the time I got halfway through the bottle. And that one actually went bad. I would have made it work. I would have combined it with other foundations, but I had had it for like almost 3 years at this point, and it wasn't good anymore. So I decluttered that one. But I also got rid of my Fenty Pro Filter Hydrating Foundation, and that one, the shade match was fine. I was in the shade 190, but it was that the foundation didn't really work for me. It's marketed as a hydrating foundation, but I actually found it kind of drying on my skin. It definitely clung to, like, I hear little feet by my door. I think my daughter's up from her nap. It definitely clung to dry patches, and I had to either use a super duper hydrating primer or mix it in with another foundation. So those are the 2 foundations that I recently decluttered. I also already decluttered this next product, and it was a product that wasn't worth the hype, and I said the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I heard a lot of people talking about that primer. I feel like you constantly heard people talking about the Milk Hydro Grip on YouTube when it first came out. I know so many people that loved it. I went out and purchased the smaller size, and I could not get it to work for me. It did feel hydrating, but it would pill up on my skin. It didn't matter if I waited a while. It didn't matter if I went in with foundation right after, if I waited a while for my skincare to dry before putting it on. I just couldn't make it work for me. I gave it to Smags. She couldn't make it work for her. So that was one where decluttered it, and it just didn't live up to the hype in my opinion. Number 9 is a concealer you couldn't make work. But again, concealers are like mascaras for me. I don't have a ton in my collection, and typically if you like mix and match, I feel like I can make it work. So I just went with a product you couldn't make work. And again, I decluttered this one. It was the Nabla bronzer. I picked it up during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale when it was 50% off. I think I got the medium shade, and I could not make that work for me. I looked so gray, and like just mixing it with other bronzers didn't work. Using it alone didn't work. Like the color match wasn't good. And I don't typically return makeup because I feel like they just throw it away. So like, what's the point? But I actually went on to return that one. So I could not make that bronzer work. And the last question, number 10, if you had to start one makeup category from scratch, what would it be? That one's easy. Emily said, I think she said brows because she doesn't really care about like brow products. And I feel like I could have said the same thing because I use the same 3 brow products, ABH, Brow Wiz, and Brow Definer in Caramel, and the brow gel. So I only have 3 products, but I would probably pick mascaras. I would just start from scratch with mascaras because right now I only have 3 open in my collection, the Bite being one of them, which I probably won't be able to use anymore. And I have like 2 stored to the side that I want to try. So I'm like, mascara, I don't really care about. I mean, I care, like I want it to be voluminous, like I want it to look good on me, but I wouldn't be heartbroken if all of my mascaras disappeared and I had to start over. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. I hear some noise happening outside, so I'm gonna go join the fam. I'm getting hungry again. I need to eat a snack, but thank you, Ava, for creating this fun tag and letting me join in on the fun. If you are a YouTuber, I tag you to film this video, or if you just wanna list in the comments down below, you can answer these questions as well. I will have them in the description box. Is that what it's called? Yeah, but that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.